The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests in their personal capacity. They do not necessarily reflect the official position or policy of any organization, institution, or entity. The content shared here is for informational and educational purposes only.
Fiti sana kabisa.
Msi alinyolewa ndevu zikaanza kuonekana.
Ni mimi.
Sijui kama mlinotice.
Hawakunotice.
But we the people must notice.
Ndio.
When they break the constitution,
Ndio.
when they violate the constitution,
when they
do things to us, when they violate our rights, when they violate your rights, when they or whoever wale hao wenye hawataki tu prosper, wale watu wenye hawataki tu unaona hao you have a right to make wealth lakini hawataki hao watu. Na unajua kuna times zingine kuna kwa kutafu.
Ni kweli.
Kuna times zingine kuna kumeget kutafu, yani kuna kwa kutafu hadi mnaambiwa hapana. Ni kubaya. Kila mtu akae kwa nyumba. Polisi ndio wana patrol streets, na si polisi tu jeshi. Ama GSU. Hiyo time inakuanga mbaya because hadi simu ziuzi. Hakuna network. Hakuna TV, you know.
Hakuna radio.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Tunakubata, hiyo ni mbaya.
We are talking about the Kenyan Constitution 2010. Chapter 4.
Ndio.
Bill of Rights.
Inasemaje?
Article 50.
Article 58.
58.
Very nice.
Article 58 ndio part 4. Yeah. Na iko peke yake. Part 4 iko peke yake.
Kwa sababu inahusu nini?
Before tuongee maneno, situambia si ni kina nani? Oh yeah.
Mimi Voke vibes.
Mastermind.
No, sisi.
Yes.
We are your host.
We are your host. Karibuni sana.
Karibuni.
So we are talking about state of emergency.
Ndio.
State of emergency ni nini?
Ni time yenye kuna emergency kwa nchi.
Ndio. Nchi inaekwa in a state, yani unajua tukisema ni emergency kila kitu iko na lot tu sio yani because ni kubaya. Kunaweza loka any moment. Ndio. So emergency ili happen once. I think maybe in my history najua about emergency ya 1952.
Mimi ndazisikianga.
Unazisikianga. Juzi tumesikia story ya TZ, kumekuwa na state of emergency time elections. And hapa hivi leo tutaelewa when does the constitution allow a state of emergency to be declared in this country. Alright.
Yeah.
So tunaenda sana tunasema article 51 clause 1 inasema a state of emergency may be declared only under article 132(4)(d). And article 132(4)(d). Article 132 number 1 inaongea kuhusu the powers of the president. Okay? Alafu tukitoka hapo pale kwa 4 inasema the president may declare a state of emergency. Hivyo tu ndivyo inasema. Article 4 that 132(4)(d).
That is very very kama
hivyo ndivyo inasema. Unajua sasa iko na mambo mengine hapo hivyo ya. Alafu inaongeza hapo hivyo with relation to article 58
inasema
sasa article 58 ndio tuko sasa.
Yes. Yeah.
So inasema to the president. So number 1 tunajua who declares a state of emergency?
The president.
Iko under the powers of the president. Hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza tunajua.
Yeah.
Sasa
he's the only one.
I don't know if he's the only one, lakini so far as far as the constitution is telling us, only the president can declare a state of emergency. Okay? But only under the laws and rules stipulated under article
58.
Twende sana article 58. Inasema the state and only when so it may the president may declare only when the state is threatened by war.
Invasion.
War. War. Invasion. Tuseme aliens. Ama? General insurrection. Now hapo ndipo nataka tuelewe. What is a general insurrection?
Hiyo ni watu wameamua ku revolt against the government.
Exactly. So now mimi nitamuuliza swali. There's something we the youth of Kenya did last year. Do you think that amounts as a general insurrection?
Yeah. I don't know because I'm not an expert. Tunafaa kwanza ujue general insurrection.
Because I don't naangalia saizi. It's actually what I'm looking at because
tunaweza sema yes no na tujui kama general insurrection.
What's the general insurrection? Because ikitu
watu walienda parliament jo.
Because
does it warrant for Kenya tupatiwe ati nini waseme president aseme kuna state of emergency.
President exactly.
Yeah. Na kwenye inaweza sema ni hivyo labda kwa hiyo general insurrection.
A general insurrection is a widespread organized uprising where a large portion of the population openly resists or rebels against the established government or authority.
Exactly.
Okay, so not a small group, it's broad, involving many people across religions or sectors. Yes. 2, an insurrection is active resistance, often forceful, aimed at overthrowing or seriously challenging authority. Basically,
often
what we were trying to do.
Often forceful, force out of their offices.
So that is one of the times when
state of emergency can be declared.
Acha tuelewe
mambo nataka kumtoka. Anasema kila mtu akae kwa nyumba.
Yes.
Msinitoe.
See the next one. Disorder.
Kuna disorder too.
Disorder to chaos. Unaona? Natural disaster, of course. Kuna floods, you know. Kuna earthquake, vitu kama hizo. Or other public COVID. Yes.
Venye watu waliambiwa.
That was a public emergency.
Wakaambiwa ni state of emergency.
B inasema and B the declaration is necessary to meet the circumstances for which the emergency is declared. It is necessary.
Kama ni njaa watu wajue wenye ita state. Kama ni
vita, safety.
Kama ni vita watu wajue wenye
we are moving people to safety, we are moving them here. All those tunafaa tuelewe na tuelewe kwa nini. Okay, 58.2 a declaration of a state of emergency and any legislation enacted or other action taken in consequence of the declaration shall be effective only. So inasema nini?
A declaration of a state of emergency.
So kutangazwa kwa state of emergency
or any legislation enacted or other action taken in consequence of the declaration.
Kufuatia in declaration. So any act of parliament
shall be effective only prospectively.
Tunaangalia prospectively. Unaona?
Iko na
inatoangalia mbele. Okay?
Now for not longer than 14 days from the date of the declaration unless the National Assembly resolves to extend the declaration.
Yes, so tuseme the state of emergency has been declared. So an act of parliament has been enacted immediately after the state of emergency. Hiyo kitu itakuwa in effect only for 14 days. Because first state of emergency if it lasts longer than
14 days.
Exactly. So unless there is a very good reason.
Unless the National Assembly wakutane waseme hii kitu ni kama tutaongezea kazi another 14 days.
Yes. Na part 3 inaongea kuhusu hiyo kuextend. Inasema the National Assembly may extend a declaration of a state of emergency A by resolution adopted 1 following a public debate in the National Assembly. So while we're discussing it in our presence and we know. And 2 by the majority specified in clause 4. Okay. Clause 4 ndio hii hapa chini. Inasema okay, na wacha kwanza tusome B. Inasema for not longer than 2 months at a time. So your extension. So hata kama tumeextend 2 weeks. Now tukiextend not more than 2 months at a time.
Yani your extension is what imefanywa 1 month.
Yes. Tunafanya 2 months alafu tena tunafanya tena Okay? Now clause 4 ndio inaongea kuhusu by the majorities. The first extension of the declaration of the state of emergency requires a supporting vote of at least 2/3 of all members of the National Assembly. Hiyo ni ile ya kawaida, si ndio? Yes. And any subsequent extension requires a supporting vote of at least 3/4 of the members of the National Assembly. Wacha to put it in numbers. 2/3 ni ngapi? 66%.
Yeah.
Okay? So ukiwa na watu 10, watu kama 7 hivi
wafaa kuwa wameagree.
Lakini 3/4 ukiwa na watu 10 sio watu 7, ni watu
8.
Okay, so you have to add an extra
person. Yeah,
all right,
true.
So that is those are some of the things that we need to understand.
Yeah.
Now the Supreme Court, okay, so even ndivyo clause 4 inasema. Clause 5 inaongea sasa kuhusu koti. What are their roles in the state of emergency? Nasema that the Supreme Court may decide on the validity of a declaration of a state of emergency. So tuseme kama for example what was happening last year, to yes, Kenya has been declared a state of emergency for the next 5-7 days. Okay, Supreme Court inafaa ianze kaa chini ulize hiki tu.
Why is it there?
That makes sense.
Does it have to be declared a state of emergency?
Or are there other measures that can be? Remember what we said about human rights being taken.
True.
We do the thing that will affect them the least. Sasa, hivyo ndivyo iko. So number B inasema the validity of any extension of a declaration of a state of emergency. So ikiextendiwa ya kwanza ya pili.
Is it valid?
Yeah. Okay. And C, any legislation enacted or other action taken in consequence of a declaration of
state of emergency.
Now that mlisema kuna state of emergency,
then mkasema for people kuchapa.
Then mkasema sasa kutoka leo watu watakuwa wanakuwa tortured. Is it how it's supposed to be? Remember, we said that this constitution gave power to the people.
Mmesema kuna state of emergency. Watu ni kuna ugonjwa, but does it limit people to move at night?
Does it make sense? Vitu kama hiyo. Now wanafaa waulize they now on behalf of the people
wanafaa waulizwe, wao ndio watuambie,
wao ndio wanaamua. They may decide.
Si ndio hiyo sasa.
Wanakaa chini wana judge alafu wanaamua kama ni kitu kizuri ama ni mbaya. Ndio hiyo.
Exactly.
Si ndio dawa? Alafu tunasema any legislation enacted in consequence of a declaration of a state of emergency may limit a right or fundamental freedom in the Bill of Rights only to the extent that, okay, so inaweza limit lakini hadi wapi? Remember nilisema constitution inajiweka kwa box. Okay, the limitation is strictly required by the emergency. So limitation kama ya freedom of movement. Okay, freedom of information, access to information. Sindio? Freedom of the media. So vitu kama hizo is it
freedom of expression?
Freedom of expression kama hayo. And 2, the legislation is consistent with the republic's obligations under international law applicable to a state of emergency. So international law imeongea kuhusu mambo ya
state of emergency.
So tunafaa pia to go through kuhusu what it says about a state of emergency. I think hiyo tunaweza fanya in part 2 of this same video.
True.
Yes. And
shall not
take effect until it is
in the National Gazette.
Yes, published in the Gazette. Okay. Yes. 7. A declaration of a state of emergency or legislation enacted or other action taken in consequence of any declaration may not permit or authorize the indemnification of the state or any person in respect to any unlawful act or omission. To be indemnified. To be indemnified. Okay. Let us. I may have a rough meaning, but it is good to get the meaning as the owners of the language intended.
What do you think?
It means that you are not exempted. Okay, you cannot be removed from any crime that will be committed during that state of emergency. The state or any person. So you declared a state of emergency. That does not mean you kill people. Okay, because we will come after you. Yes, we will hold you responsible for that. But let us check what indemnification means. Indemnification meaning, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you think there is a situation that would lead Kenya to need a state of emergency?
You tell us in the comments. Tuandikia hapo kwa comments utambie. In what times do you think maybe Kenya needs a state of emergency? So now, what have you learned from what you've said about the state of emergency?
If something goes wrong, I'll cover you. That's basically what indemnification means. If something goes wrong, I got your back. Okay. So more formally, indemnification means protecting someone from loss, damage, or legal liability, usually by compensating them or taking responsibility on their behalf. Okay. So ndio nimekwambia, mume declare state of emergency. You're not allowed to kill now that you've
sure.
And
in case you have the state shall not be liable.
So parliament, whoever, police, head of state, whoever you are, if that happens,
unlawful acts or omissions,
even ndivyo kuko. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, mimi sidhani hapa kuna haja ya state of emergency kwa nchi. We're very peaceful people. We know how to speak. We know how to go for what we want.
Mature people.
Hakuna mambo ingine. Tunasema kama kawaida, this is We the People podcast. So remember to like, share, subscribe. Ndio.
That has been our time. See you next time, my dear. Sindio? So
chicken tutarudi part 2.
Sindio?
Good job, team.